Hello and welcome to another video. In this video I'm going to go over some of the plumbing I've been doing in the fish house regarding doing the water changes. Now when doing the water changes, this pipework here I've removed is what I'd normally use to remove water from the system. I'd opened these valves which connected to this waste pipe which was connected to the aquariums, and when turning this valve the water would siphon out of the main system back down the drain. Obviously being 40mm pipe, to drain the tank in about 3 minutes, which was probably around 1500 litres, so a quick way of draining the tank. Then when I'd done filling the tank, draining the tank, I'd close the valve, and then at the top here through these reducers I'd open a valve at the chlorine filter which would then fill up through this blue pipe and fill the tanks back up. Now obviously this pipework is only, it's garden hose basically, so it's either 10 to 12mm in diameter, but obviously by the time that hose is then fitted over these reducers, and you've got the wall of the reducer being probably about 1mm again, it means the internal hole diameter of this thinnest piece here is probably only around 7mm, if not less, which was a big reduction in the obviously increased the back pressure from the mains, so it was taking quite a while to fill the tank back up. I'm now going to go over and show you what I've done to try and increase this diameter, and basically what I've done is I've chopped off that top section on the next one I've created and gone with solid rigid 1-inch pressure pipe from here at that diameter straight across to the chlorine filter, which means we've increased the restriction from this smaller diameter up to the larger diameter, and I've been quite impressed with the results, so I'll take you inside now to have a look at that. Okay, it's slightly noisy in here because I'm stood next to the K1 and the sump, but you can see here I've now redone the pipework. So basically I put new valves in, and obviously all that bit there is identical to what it was before, no change there, slightly different coloured pipe but nothing's changed. This is just the same waste pipe you get under your sink and the Cockney coil valve. This is where it's changed though. I've increased, instead of reducing the diameter here, what I've done instead is kept it at the same diameter all the way across to here, where I've reduced it from the 40mm waste pipe down to 1-inch pressure pipe, which then runs along here and connects to the feed that goes over here to the, over here, that's where the chlorine filter is. So basically it comes straight out all these taps. That tap does the pond, that tap for me bypass, that tap does the left tank, that tap does the right tank. Basically, and see, we're connected up, so now the smallest restriction is the same diameter pipe as it comes through as the pressure from the chlorine filter. And obviously all this now is a lot more fluid because there's less of a restriction. I've come back outside now where it's a bit quieter because we're not stood right next to the filter. As I was saying, basically I've been quite happy with the results already. It's worked similar to what we did with the filter in the background there. We increased the pipe diameter and made less of the 90 degrees to increase the flow rate, and it's done exactly the same even though it's mains pressure in the fish house. Previously, depending obviously what time of day it is, your water mains pressure will change. If it's a busy time of day, it's obviously going to drop. If it's in the middle of the night, you've got higher mains pressure because no one else on the street's using the water. It's a busy time, I was getting as little as 3.5 litres a minute through the chlorine filter, so it was taking 4.5 hours maybe to fill the tanks up. On a good day we were getting about 5.5 litres a minute early on a Sunday morning kind of thing. Now the best I've seen now is actually 7.1 litres a minute, so I haven't been able to do enough tests on the worst time of day and the best times of day, but 7.1 even on the best case is 1.5 litres or 1.6 litres more a minute than I was getting previously, which is going to significantly reduce the times it's going to take to do the water changes. In the worst case scenario, it could almost half the time it takes. If you go from the 3.5 up to 7.1, it could half the time it takes for me to do a water change, which would be brilliant. But either way, I'm very happy with that. There's a few more changes I'm going to do yet. I'm changing some more of the pipe work and the copper work that leads from the house to the fish house and then leads to the chlorine filter, so I'm hoping that'll also reduce the back pressure somewhat to increase the speed of which we do the water changes. And also it should just make things tidier in there and a bit more neater in there anyway, kind of a job I've been wanting to do for a long time anyway. But I've been quite happy with it so far. I'm very happy with just the slight increases and improvements really been making here or there so far. They're all coming together now to make kind of big differences overall. But yeah, just a quick update really on a bit of pipe work I've been doing, and thought I'd kind of make a video on the importance of kind of just thinking through your pipe work before you do it. Just try and reduce. I mean, at the time I did it when I set the fish house up the way I knew it and the way I could do it. Wasn't necessarily the best way of doing it. Since then I've had obviously 4 years to think about it now, and and to be fair, I never realised it would make that much difference, especially with it being mains pressure. I didn't think it would make that much difference. I thought more of it was probably due to maybe just the carbon filter bit and a bit dirty and a bit clogged, and maybe it was reducing pressure because of that. But no, with nearly a litre and a half is a good improvement even in the worst case, so 3 litres is a brilliant increase, so very happy with that. And I just thought that I'd make a video and let you all know, so please like, subscribe, notification bell and all the usual stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching.